You're about to see footage that shocked a town. A mother who vanished without a trace, then reappeared on Thanksgiving morning with a story no one could verify. But what started as a desperate search soon turned into one of the most controversial hoaxes of the decade. On November 2nd, 2016, 34-year-old Sherri Papini told her husband she was going for a short jog near their home in Redding, California. When she didn't return, Keith Papini reported her missing that evening. Search teams, volunteers, and national news outlets flooded the area. The case felt like a nightmare that would trigger the worst fears of any parent. A mother missing with 2 young children at home. Investigators quickly dug into phone records, last known locations, and surveillance, looking for the last moments anyone saw her. 22 days later, on Thanksgiving morning, Papini was found on the side of a road in Yolo County, roughly 150 miles from where she'd disappeared. A nearby church's surveillance camera captured footage of a disheveled woman walking toward a gas station. The clip was later released to the public and replayed across news networks. Papini claimed she'd been kidnapped, held by 2 women who covered their faces, abused and branded with the word Exodus on her shoulder. Her injuries, she said, were evidence of a brutal 3-week captivity. But from almost the moment the footage circulated, investigators and some experts noticed problems. The narrative had curious inconsistencies, timelines that didn't line up, physical wounds that forensic examiners later described as more consistent with controlled or self-inflicted injuries, and claims that clashed with phone and location data gathered by authorities. Donations and public sympathy poured in for the family, but so did questions. Crucially, investigators couldn't find credible evidence of the 2 attackers she described, nor could they match the alleged vehicle descriptions to any confirmed sightings. Over the following years, the case didn't close. It only deepened. The FBI and local detectives re-examined the scene, the phone records, and witness statements. In 2022, federal investigators arrested Papini and unsealed an affidavit alleging a very different reality. She had spent much of the 22-day gap with a former boyfriend, James Reyes, in Southern California, not chained or held at gunpoint by strangers. According to investigators and later court filings, elements of her story were fabricated, and the physical evidence suggested self-inflicted injuries or staged marks rather than the result of prolonged abuse. The government accused Papini of defrauding public assistance programs and lying to federal agents, crimes that carried serious penalties.
For the window, do you want to know if it's like the same height?
Well, the type of window, the wall itself, anything from these photos that make you believe that this was where you were being held.
So, we're showing you all of this because ultimately this is the house that you were at. We found the house, we found who was involved, we talked to who was involved, we talked to family who knows that you were there. There's a lot of truths and then there's some unknowns. Like one of the simple ones, like, well, this description of the bathroom is just weird. Like that was like an argument in all of our offices where we were sitting there like this part's weird. It led us to a specific person, but not a female. It led us to the car that picked you up, but not an SUV. So there's lots of different aspects that are truths and falses. So we'd like to talk to you more about those things, and we can do it with Keith here, or we can ask Keith to leave, because the DNA came back, like I said, to a specific person. That specific person told us very specific things. His family then told us specific things.
It's him. There is no way it's him.
Well, it is James.
The DNA tells us that it was his DNA on you.
The DNA alone says it's him. And when we talked to him, confront him with the DNA,
He told us what happened.
He 100% told us what happened.
And gave us details that nobody else would know.
Ultimately, we put him on a polygraph like we did Keith, Keith was inconclusive, to be honest with you, on whether he was involved or not. But 100% James was showing the truth. The problem is today's the case is resolved. Everything, the only things, well, how do we prove that you're telling us the truth? So we could do the polygraph and try to, whatever parts you're confused about.
Can you go? Is that what you said?
Can I talk to you outside?
You missed. You couldn't control the DNA that we found. You couldn't control when we talked to James, he'd tell us what happened.
I told you I don't remember getting in the car. I always told you I don't remember getting in the car.
Correct. But did a female point a gun at you, yes or no?
I didn't do anything.
Right. But right now, answer this one question. Did a female point a gun at you, yes or no?
I am done speaking to you until I talk to a lawyer. I will not arrest her. I am with my children because of her.
In April 2022, Papini pleaded guilty to 1 count of mail fraud and 1 count of making false statements as part of a plea deal. Prosecutors said the hoax had cost taxpayers and law enforcement more than $300,000 in search efforts and investigations. In September 2022, she was sentenced to 18 months in prison, ordered to repay over $300,000, and later released to supervised custody in 2023. The conviction closed the criminal chapter, but public opinion remained split, and a later documentary reignited debate over motive, mental health, and whether every piece of the story had truly been exposed. So why did so many people believe her at first? Papini's initial appearance, frightened, injured, and speaking of a horrifying ordeal, matched what communities expect of a true victim. CCTV footage and a compelling soundbite from a sheriff can create a powerful narrative. But this case shows how footage and emotion can be weaponized. Video gives a face to a story, but it doesn't always tell the whole truth. For creators and viewers, Papini is a warning. Footage is powerful, but verification is essential. Sherri Papini's case began as a terrifying missing person mystery and ended as a federal fraud conviction. But the fallout is still messy. Families were affected, public trust was shaken, and investigators spent years piecing together the truth. When footage exists, it makes stories visceral. But it can also obscure deeper realities. If you're watching the church surveillance clip now, listen to what's shown, and just as importantly, listen to what's missing.